What's up, everybody? Nick the Comic Nerd here, doing Nick's Nerd Word. For the first time in like 2 weeks, I'm going to do my comic book review show of books I read this week. I just need a few minutes to set some stuff up and just bag and board everything. And then we will dive into it. So, like I said, this should only take a couple of minutes. This is a spoiler show, so be prepared. I got a good chunk of books read this week. Like really on a comic book kick again, which is great. I'm on a big reading kick right now, to be honest. Like reading some books and some other material too. So very, very pleased that I'm getting a lot of stuff done. What's up, Trev? What's up, Remy? What's going on? But dude, thank you so much. Yeah, let me just peek real quick. 403 right now. Amazing. Thank you to everybody. I will do that big giveaway I've been talking about. I think it's going to be... It's so tough to figure out when it's going to be because I don't like interrupting other shows that I watch. And now that I'm going to be off every other Friday starting next week, I don't want to do it on a Friday because that'll just be tough. You know, because you got In the Mix, you got The Hunt. Biggie does the collector show sometimes, like a lot to do on Fridays. Unless I could go super early and do it, but I think it's gonna be next Tuesday. I think it'll be Tuesday live. Thanks, dude. Thank you all. Seriously, you guys are the best. It's so funny. I worked 2 shifts yesterday. I started at 3 p.m. and finished at 7 a.m. this morning, technically. And then I never get the chance to check my phone very often at work. I saw that Brian was like, get this man a 7-Ups, and I looked and I was like, $3.97. What the hell? This is awesome. And sure as hell, I checked, I think, today before I went to work, and I was like, oh, wow, I broke 400. So very, very excited. I don't look like it, but trust me, I am. It's amazing. It's so cool to think of. You know, it's so funny because think back at where you were to start whatever you're doing right now with your channel. You know, like I started off on Instagram pre-COVID, like 2017 or the beginning of 2018. I started on Instagram Live. I didn't want to do the YouTube thing. And then Instagram Live just kept screwing me and losing my video and my content. Like just absolutely wild. And then to see where I am now, shooting 4 videos a week, even if you include the short, it's just crazy. And everybody sharing and stuff. You guys are so great. Remy doing that whole thing. That was awesome with the on Instagram. I think I saw 2 people shared my video. Oh, there you go. Trev shared my video and somebody else did. I don't remember who. God is great. Did something. Like a lot of people got involved, and thank you all from the bottom of my heart. It truly is honestly my biggest accomplishment so far in this, you know? It's crazy to think again. You know, I look around and it's like some people at my job will check out The Hunt when I'm on, let's say. Or like I have some people ready to watch Between the Lines tomorrow night while I'm on there. And it's crazy to think how I think the only person in the community that I've truly ever met was Brian LCS. We live relatively close to one another. I only met him once a year ago. And I didn't get to meet Herminio Reyes, but I drove right past him and was just questioning if it was him or not. And I should have stopped, and I didn't find out till later in the day, so that sucked. But it's crazy how just like for people who we've never met, like I don't know, I feel like I know so many of you guys. You know, it's crazy that you can go from just the community to where we are now. Like I don't know, I think it's incredible, and I think it shows as a community what we do. You know, because look around, we have people who watch videos and don't make content. They just come on here to just check out content, which is amazing. Like they're just viewers and they're part of the chat and stuff. And I think that's so awesome. I think you don't find stuff like that everywhere, you know? The support is just incredible. And I just can't say thank you enough. So when it comes to the giveaway, I'm going to try and create as many prizes as I can. And I think I said I was up to, I don't remember how many. I'm almost done bagging and boarding. Random question. Can you guys bag, board your comics at the same time as your board? Because I cannot ever. I miss by like a mile. You know, it sucks. I'm going to have to pull so many of these out because I don't have any of these scanned. It's all right. Maybe I just won't scan. If it's not on the front, I'm not scanning. That's what I'll do. Solid. But I can't do it. So almost there. Forgot I read all these. I read so many books at work last night. I was so dead last night on the overnight at like 3 a.m. So it sucked because Remy's place had ended, Spine Ticks had ended. So I was like, oh, everyone's gone, you know, and so I was like, I guess I'll just start reading my books I brought. And I brought like a chunk of like 18 books. I think I read like 15 of them. So I'm going to break down some of Invincible as well, which I'm excited to do. So almost there. The Compendium, issue number 1. What's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Thank you. Not looking forward to the rebate. It sucks, dude. It sucks because if it's on like the back of the book, you know that barcode is at the bottom of the book. So you got to pull that thing all the way out, and that sucks. Yep. Oh, give it a second. Yep. Board first on the Comic Me too. I watch, I don't know if you guys follow on Instagram. I think his name is Ragatheo, something like that. He can do it. And when I watch him do it, I'm like, it's so smooth. Like, you got to be cheating. And he just stacks the book, the bag, and just nonstop. I literally just have music on, be live and do that. Check the chat every couple times, every few minutes, and keep the conversation rolling. It's amazing. Almost there. 2 more, I think. And then I'll break down some books. What's cool is I read a lot of books from one series, so I'm not going to go and break down each issue. I'm going to break down the run. So, like, I'm putting away Ghost Rider right now. I think I read, like, 6 Ghost Rider issues. So, again, it is a spoiler show. So, if you are not, when I hold up the book of the series, if you haven't read it or you're not going to want to hear a review of it, just mute it for a minute, and I'll get to the next one. So, that's the plan. Other news. I almost forgot. Other quick news. I'm going to officially start sales on Instagram. I am not doing live sales. They're just going to be posts for claim sales. I'm going to be selling complete runs dirt cheap just to create some room. Like, I'm trying to think. I have like, I think the first things to go on there are going to be, I have a box of stuff. It's going to be a lot of the Future State stuff from DC. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And what I'm going to do is, if you're in the United States, if you break $30 in spending with me, it's just free shipping. I'll cover shipping for $30 for over $30 orders. So I will do holds and stuff. I'm not going to make everyone order and ship right away. Which is going to be first claim comment. That's really it. So excited to start that finally. Yeah, just need to create the space. It's tough. You guys all know it. You know, we all do it. All right, this looks so much better. So move this and roll. All right, so like I said, if I hold up a book that you're interested in reading and don't want a review on, just mute me for a second. So, Invincible Compendium 1. I am almost done. I think I have 13 issues to go. I am at the point where, so I'm past the show, well past the show where the season ended. I'm at the point where Omni-Man, an alien comes for Mark. He gets there. He talks to his government boss, but guy, I can't remember his name. And he's like, hey, I'm going off planet for a little bit. I don't know how long. And he goes for 2 months. And the planet he lands on is where Omni-Man is. So he sees his dad again. And he's like, oh my God. And like, as the reader, it's wild because all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, he's finally back, because he's been gone since he beat up Mark real good. And you learn while you're there he remarried. He's like on this planet. They look like ants, like insects, kind of, and he has a kid, and it's crazy. And he needs Mark to defend his family because he knows that the people of um, Viltrum are coming for him. So, and of course, they arrive. Mark has to help him defend that planet. So, Invincible and Omni Man team up for a little while, but it's brutal. And it ends up Mark is like kind of pulling punches, and he admits he's never trained this way. And Omni Man's like, you just got to push yourself harder. And he's like, sometimes you have to just swing and get lucky, and when you do, you just swing again and get lucky again. So, pretty cool to see them all fighting together. He Omni-Man gets taken, and before this he tells Mark, "You've got to protect my family." And he tells Mark that his new son, who is 2 months old and is about the size of a 2-year-old, and like is going to grow smarter than that, is going to outlive everybody 100 times on this planet because they don't live long. So it sucks. And Mark is like, "Oh, whatever, that sucks." And when he goes to find Omni-Man's wife, he's like, "Look, this is what happened." And she says to him, "Look, I'm already so much older than you first saw me for the first 2 months you've been here. I need you to take my son back to Earth." And Mark was like, "No way. This is a terrible idea." Sure as hell, he brings him home, brings home the baby who just says brother and stuff. He doesn't have a name yet. And his mom isn't happy. She kind of doesn't care that Omni-Man was there. She asks, did he start a new life and everything? And he was like, yep. But he goes and explains the whole thing to her, breaks it down, explains that he was taken again. And I think what's going to happen is Omni-Man is going to return because he's going to find out that his wife is dead because they don't live long enough compared to the people of Viltrum. And I think that he's going to come for his second son and find that his wife has him and everything. I think it's going to be a huge family reunion, but not a good one. So very excited. And then this ends where Mark takes Amber, his girlfriend, and they go to Africa to visit Eve. So very, very good. It's so freaking good, you guys. I cannot say enough how good Invincible is. And I wish I would have read this a lot longer ago. I wish I didn't wait so long to start doing it, but here we are. So next up we have Titans #1. This is the new Titans run for the Dawn of DC. This was a book I had mentioned that when I got it at New Comic Book Day that I didn't want to buy because I was like, I shouldn't buy all of these new books. And it's crazy to think me, who reads all the Titans runs, wasn't going to get this because this was fantastic. This opens up with Flash, who I believe is Barry Allen in this one, running for his life. And you realize that he explains that he got shot and he cannot run backwards fast enough to remove the bullet. He knows he's dying. He knows he has seconds to live. And Barry decides that he's got to run where someone will find him. The Titans, however, Beast Boy wakes up, who in Teen Titans Academy gets brutally hurt, and you end up thinking that he's kind of dead. They kind of leave you off with the whole series thinking he's gone. He's not, because he's back in this. Him and Raven are still a thing, which is awesome. I think it's one of the coolest power couples out there, to be honest. What's up, Trav? And then it ends where Titan's Tower is reopened again. So it's Nightwing and all of them. I believe Cyborg was back. I'm trying to remember. I read this like 2 weeks ago. I think Cyborg is back in this one also, even though he has his own run, or I'm wrong. And I read his own run. I don't remember this first story. But either way, the Titans walk in, and the first thing they see is Barry Allen. They're dead on the floor, and they realize that there's a murder on hand. So it's going to be really interesting. I don't know who to predict killed or shot Barry Allen. I have no idea. There's really like nothing that leads to any kind of a killer. So very interesting. Again, though, very good. Next up, we've got some Ghost Rider. So I read Ghost Rider issue number 8, 9, awesome covers, 10, 11, and 12. This is a great cover too. So I'll try and hold them all out a little bit. But Ghost Rider has been awesome. With how good Daredevil and Punisher have been, which you'll hear a big review on next. It's hard to say what the best run has been for Marvel right now. And these are the three main runs I've got. Thanks so much for stopping in, dude. I appreciate you. Check out Between the Lines tomorrow if you can and draw something. I know you got artistic skills, dude. Sorry, Johnny Blaze. This is the only Ghost Rider run I've been reading, and I'm only going to say this because it'll make sense in like 2 when I flip to the second issue. And oh my gosh, now I can't remember her name. If anyone's reading Ghost Rider, tell me her name. I'm so annoyed. Talia. There you go. Work together for the FBI. Talia kind of gets fired, but she can turn Johnny into the Ghost Rider and make him obviously do other things. And you learn that Johnny flat out says, like, the Ghost Rider and Johnny, the Ghost Rider is the better of him or the one he enjoys more. And that's pretty cool to hear, knowing that he knows, like, the devil-ish side of him is the better side or the stronger side, however you want to put it. But it's really neat because these go through, they end up killing, I can't remember this character's name. It was actually a really cool character. What sucks is, as an antagonist, they kind of just killed him off really quick, and that was kind of upsetting. The arc ran pretty quick, but I think the whole point of the arc was for Talia and Johnny, which is totally normal, totally fine. But you learn that at the end of it, there are people creating another Ghost Rider, and his name is Danny Kesh. So can't tell you that either one of these is Danny Kesh, but Danny Kesh has his own run now. It's called Ghost Rider Danny Kesh. You've probably seen it or read it if you have. I'm going to read that in trade, which sucks because where Punisher and Daredevil coincide with each other, where every other issue is like you kind of read them together, Danny Kesh and Ghost Rider are going to go the same way. So you learn that Johnny Blaze basically has a brother, and super wild, super cool. Him and Talia go into like Georgia. The whole town is on fire. It's called the Necropolis, and all the dead and all the demons are coming out of the ground, and Johnny, as the Ghost Rider, is just absolutely wailing on them, trying to find out who was there and what happened. And I think the time is going to come where he's going to have to fight Danny Kesh. So very, very cool. Very interesting stuff. I have like 4 more issues of this I just haven't read, so I'm getting there. Next up, we have World Tree, issue number 2. Fantastic. I had said in my new comic book day haul, I think 2 weeks ago, when I first got World Tree, like a week late, I had said how Clear and World Tree right now are kind of coinciding for me because I wanted to like Clear because of being a Scott Snyder fan. A lot of it didn't make sense to me. I'm hoping whatever next issue I read from that will. World Tree, issue number 2, phenomenal. Probably the read of the week, to be honest. Absolutely incredible. Kind of how you see like this girl coming out of what looks like a computer. I was right with my first estimate about World Tree, how if you're like staring at the screen, it kind of takes over you and it makes you kind of freeze if you look at it. That's the thing, is like if you stare at the screen or if you see the screen, it kind of just draws you in and then you're stuck. But this crazy chick goes around and she's going through a bunch of people's houses, and there's a lot of character development in this. Elle and I can't remember the guy she's walking around with now. This is Fear, because there's like multiple parts of the story. There's Fear, there's 2 others, I believe, and the younger brother in the first issue who gets into trouble for going around and just killing people. It kind of starts to make sense because you learn how in the first issue there were a few characters who came in who created the whole thing of World Tree. They get back together, like I had mentioned, and you find out that everybody who was involved, and there are a bunch of people, are given jobs, and it's all kind of done remotely. And the one person, the last guy to arrive, he mentions that his job is to ruin this kid's life. And it makes me think that that's a little bit of a couple weeks earlier kind of thing, where maybe he was chosen to ruin the little brother's life, and that's what's going on. So I don't know. Other than that, the brother is actually being free. He has a lawyer now and everything, and he's super confused. There's no clue what's going on. Nobody does, to be honest. But I really liked this. I thought this was great. the two characters, Elle and her partner, the detective, you kind of see they got like a little romance going, or you think they are. They kind of flirt with each other. I think it's great. I think it adds to the story. It's not a bother. It's not like there's any kind of a delay. And then there are two other detectives who want to bring down the brother. I can't remember the names, which sucks. I've got to start like putting post-its of names on the back of these things, but check out World Tree if you can. Trev says that is the best indie for sure. I think I have to agree. I'm trying to think of something else. I'm honestly great reading through indies. I think that's the one though. Next, I finally read this Rocket Raccoon. So this is the first 4 original issues of Rocket Raccoon when he had a solo run. Really cool, really wild, really messed up, to be honest. So Rocket lives in, it's called Half World. And there's like a Half World Bible that explains everything and how everyone got there. And if you look at this is actually a great cover because it's got Rocket. You got the rabbit. That's Lila. And then Walrus is in this a lot too. So if you guys saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, or if not, I'm not going to spoil that, but you've seen those characters in the trailers. This is kind of like their first appearances. So the whole thing is based off of what's called a toy war. They're just creating toys. And it's funny because in the first few issues, you don't really catch them. It's only 4 issues. In the first issue, you don't really catch on. In the second issue, you might kind of catch on. But you learn that Rocket talks about how his job as Ranger Rocket Raccoon is to take care of the loonies. And the job of like Toy Master is open, and there are a bunch of people who want to go for it. Lila's uncle is one of them. And then there's some evil people too, because they want to create toys to attack. Like they got the killer clowns going around, like I was talking about in the first issue a couple weeks ago. And kind of like the Jack in the Box. So that's basically what it is. And it's evil, and Rocket knows like that's going to keep happening. Lila gets taken a bunch of these. He confesses his love for her. It's so good. The romance behind this is so fantastic. But it's really wild. So on Half World, you learn that in the first issue, I think they talk about how Ranger Rocket Raccoon's job is to kind of make sure and take care of the loonies. And I think you see it in issue number 1. I don't remember, but in issue number 2, you finally realize they're humans in straitjackets, and their job is to protect them. And you come to learn when you read the Half World Bible in one of the issues that the loonies were dropped there because they were no longer welcomed on Earth, and they were basically shot into space to try and be cured. And they realized there was no cure, so robots were there to just continue to like either medicate them or do something to keep them in line and keep them in control and make sure they didn't like die off or anything. And Rocket finds out through the Half World Bible that it used to be vice versa, that animals were pets, and now like the loonies are kind of pets. And the whole thing goes around, and he ends up winning the war. The correct person gets put in charge of Uncle Pico, who is a turtle, gets to be Toy Master because he just wants to make toys for fun and make things fun, which is great to hear, compared to the evil person who wanted to make like killer clowns who dropped like tennis balls that were bombs. Really, really good stuff. This was a lot of fun to read. Honestly, if your LCS has this was $8. Yeah, the first 4 issues of Rocket Raccoon. It's obviously a reprint, but for $8, rather than going and paying like the hardcover or anything, I don't know that I'll ever go get the individual issues now that I have this and now that I've read it, but really, really good stuff. I think this is last. No, we're getting there. Next up, we've got some Daredevil goodness with some Elektra and Matt Murdock love. So Elektra and Daredevil got married in order to keep the power of the fist and the power of the beast, or the power of the fist, I should say. So if you remember from Daredevil, or if you know Daredevil, like ninja assassins, they're called the Hand. Daredevil and Elektra are creating an army called the Fist. And they're using this army to go and fight Frank Castle. That's the plan, which will be in the Punisher story we talk about next. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did in my little stack here. Yeah, okay. Something felt missing. They go into a prison. It's like a stronghold for I guess what you would call B-list villains and C-list villains. And they're people that Daredevil knows can do better. And he wants to give them a second chance and have them join his army. So like he goes and he gets US Agent, brings him out. A bunch of people, like some old villains. He brings out I can't remember the guy's name, but he brings somebody out who has a son, and he's like, if you help me out, like you can get off on good duty, this and that, and get released into the real world, and like we'll have a way to track you, this and that. And the way it turns out is the army is building and building and building. If you look at this, when they go to the prison to break these people out, I'm just backtracking a step. The Avengers get the warning and they check the cameras, and it's Daredevil and Captain America and Iron Man are like, we have to go and bring him in. So Iron Man tracks Elektra, and he doesn't know it, but she's got some of her assassins with her. And you don't find out if it's Tony or if it's just the suit. And he ends up getting, I'm going to say he ends up getting stabbed and beaten. And he's like, wait a second, how did your blades, your size, get through my armor? And she explains to him they're nano piercing, which is freaking wild, the fact that they tied all the detail into Daredevil about stuff like this. So that was super amazing. Anyway, so the whole thing ends right here where Daredevil, like I said, he let one of the guys go to try and be with his son, give him a chance, and it kind of backfires on him immediately. He finds out that the guy's son is captured and that this guy's taking a beating, and he's like, now we have a job to do. We have to go save his son. So pretty great stuff. Loving the Daredevil run. There's more details in there I probably forgot. Like I said, I read that at like 5 a.m. yesterday after working 2 shifts. So, but again, I think just really good stuff. And then last but not least, we have Punishers. This is issues 8 and 9, the Punisher. So a lot, there he is. What's up, Will? A lot of this stuff with the Punisher involves Maria, his wife. And you learn that she's narrating a lot of the story, which is super cool. And she goes back and talks about times where, like, she would sneak out of the house and go to bars and talk to vets and ask if they knew Frank Castle, and they would tell the stories of Frank Castle. And she couldn't believe it because their home didn't need a Marine. Their home needed a husband and a dad. And he couldn't do that. And then eventually he could. And you go and you find out that the High Priestess is always kind of betting that he's going to come around and be the Beast incarnate for the army that Daredevil's army is going to come fight. So, which technically I believe it is the Hand. I can't remember. I think it's the Hand, but he's the Beast. That's what's up with the new logo for for Punisher. So it goes on for a little while, and then you can see that Frank is kind of turning dark, or darker, I should say. He's got the power of the Beast, so he can float. He's building his army. He's letting people go who like turned on him. And he's like, join, if you can fight me and beat me, fine. He's like, but if not, you have to join me. And he gets everyone to join him. So he's building this massive army. And Maria wants to know what's going on. And he tells her, like, we're almost home. We're almost home. By the end of these 2 issues, he has the High Priestess killed. And I think that in turn is going to end up killing Maria again, which is terrible because she wants to be with her kids. She keeps asking where they are. She doesn't remember anything. And she slowly does begin to remember when she's talking to the High Priestess. And it's pretty crazy because she kind of has like this hole in her cheek, and I have a feeling it's a bullet hole, and she doesn't know what it is because she was reincarnated. Like Punisher did that for her. So he goes to war against Ares first and totally beats the hell out of Ares' army. Kills Ares himself by his bare hands. He ends up executing him. And then that's when he decides to kill the High Priestess, because I think he realized, like, I don't need you anymore. I don't need your garbage talking to me or anything like that, or you're looking over me or trying to talk over my shoulder and tell me what to do. He goes and does his own thing. Wild stuff. Really good. Really violent. It's crazy how, like I said, these stories kind of like coincide with each other. But it's cool because they just have different artwork. Like, they have different artists. So Jason Aaron is writing Punisher right now, and I believe Chip Zdarsky is back to writing Daredevil, which I'm correct. So really good stuff. Really great reads. Very happy I got to a lot of reading. We're going to go through, do read of the week, cover of the week, and the worsts. So give me just a second to figure that out. Invincible's been crazy. I can't say enough. I think that's the read of the week. I think that's the cover of the week. Sheesh. I don't know if I have a least favorite read of the week, you guys. Least favorite cover I can do. We'll do that one. I think you guys will laugh at my worst cover. If you've been watching this series for a little while, you know, like artists I can't stand, I always kind of lowball them. All right, I don't have the worst read of the week. There wasn't one. Again, everything was really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. Worst cover of the week: Daredevil 9, Ghost Rider 9, Peach Momoko cover. Didn't do it for me. Just doesn't do it. Looks decent. I just don't get it, you guys. I don't know. It's just me. I had 1 through 144 of Invincible. It's crazy that it like skyrockets. It's crazy the ups and downs of Invincible. I think once that second season comes out, dude, you know that stuff is just gonna totally shoot up in price again, which is good for them. But again, just for people like us, it sucks. It sucks to see, like you said, all that. So Ghost Rider 9 was my worst cover of the week. Ghost Rider 8 is my cover of the week. I really like this one. The whole Talia and Ghost Rider deal going. I'm gonna put these on my Instagram actually. I'm gonna do like Nick's Nerd Words cover of the week, worst cover, stuff like that. So I know these are all old reads too, but hey, that's what I do. And that leaves my read of the week, which is World Tree number 3. Check it out. James Tinian's got it going on. Knows what he's doing. I don't know. I just can't say enough about it. Again, it's hard because like I thought I'd really like Clear. And if issue 3 or 4 that I'm up to doesn't hit it for me, I might drop it because World Tree is just up there. And again, I'm trying to cut back in comics, so it's tough. It's a tough spot to be, and we've all been there. Tomorrow, I'm going to try really hard to do a live stream of my Long Island Comic Fest haul. I think it's sitting in this pile here. If it's not sitting in this pile, I'll do something else, but because I don't know where it would be. It's in one of these boxes around me. And tomorrow at 8:30, 8:35, check out Geek Out with Roscoe's channel. I will be on Between the Lines. He's doing a giveaway of his Cocaine Bear drawing of Yogi Bear as the Cocaine Bear. All you've got to do is send it an at-home edition, and he's giving it away. So definitely check it out. But so it's over. Okay, you see, so Clear is only 3 issues, and I read the first 2. So if I don't love the first 2, 3 is gonna have a lot of explaining to do for me because I'm lost. Maybe I'll go back and reread it all. I don't know, but that's a tough spot to be in. I appreciate you letting me know that. But I also agree. Okay, it could have been better. I think a lot of the stuff that Snyder put out on the like, Comixology, it's tough because obviously it's awesome to hold a comic book. I think a lot of the stuff can stay online because the cost of printing and everything. I don't know. For me, maybe I would have read Clear online and not in person, but that's it. So again, Geek Out with Roscoe's channel tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the 400 subscribers. You have no idea what it means to me. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow a lot on Geek Out with Roscoe probably. And I'll figure out a day to do the giveaway. I think it's going to be next Tuesday. So if you want to jump on there, feel free to do that. It's a good place to stop. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you all stay safe. Enjoy your comics.